So, I'm live streaming and I don't know how many people will join in. Sorry for my super loud bed. But it's just going to be kind of a watch me sketch video. I probably won't be uploading for a bit, not until summer, because my phone is at very low storage, and when I say very low, I mean I can't even take a picture, so pretty low. I've always had these storage problems. Like, I don't know what it is, but I mean, my phone's 60, so it's not like it's a 256 whatever gigabyte, but everything just sucks up storage. It's crazy. So yeah, there's nothing much to talk about, so I'm just kind of going to be sketching Jada, the main character of my book series. I guess that's the thing to talk about. So yeah, I'm 14, but I'm still going to be doing a book series. Like, I'm working the characterization now. So Jade is the main protagonist, and I have there's a group of 3. Like, the current draft, there's or the current idea, the main character is a group of 3 characters. So yeah, it's Jada, Sylvie, and Mariana, and Jada is the main one. So it's a fantasy idea, and I've been working on it for a bit. I went to a writing camp with this idea, and it was pretty fun. I actually met some nice people there. It wasn't, I guess camp wouldn't be the best word to describe it, but it was a writing thing where we kind of went to this place in my area where there's a lot of meetings and stuff, because there was a published author actually doing a thing. She's not very widely known, but she was really helpful, and it actually helped me with a lot of stuff. It actually offered a lot of tips, and she gave us websites and such that we could give our drafts to see, give our ideas to, so that we could see kind of what it kind of, to see if they would accept us. 1 second. Okay. So I don't know how well this is working, because I'm joined in on my iPod to do the live chat, and it says playback error, but my iPod also sucks. So it could just be my iPod sucks, but it's taking 1.5 years to load the chat. Yeah, this is Jada. She's a cool chick. So the characters are still developed, but the thing I'm mostly having trouble with are the plots, especially the beginning. I have the basic plot line hashed out, but I don't know how much I like it, because part of it seems really cliche, And I'm still working on some of the stuff involving the territories, because it's a completely fictitious world. It's not even in a real place. It's in a place I made up, on a different planet, a different continent. I have the maps in the binder dedicated to this story idea, but that's across the room, so I'm not gonna hurt you anymore with the noises my bed makes whenever I move at all. Yeah, so the thing is, the territories are based off of real places, so that makes it a little easier, because Jada, she's from the Northern Territory, Pankruti, something like that. I honestly can't even remember the names to the territories, but it's something like Pankrati or Pankruti, and it's based off of Russia, and Russian culture, and just not even Russian, Eastern European, Norse things. Okay, guess I better change the camera angle. awkward silence. Sorry, I can't really type and talk at the same time. Okay, this is taking a year and a half to type out on this crappy keyboard. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a bad camera angle, but I don't really have many choices at the moment because my desk that I did speed paints on was garbage. It's not garbage. It was actually a really good desk, but it's full of crap now, so I can't do that until I clean it. And my other desk doesn't have an overhang like my desk, so I can't do much on there. But yeah, so that desk kind of sucks. Well, sucks for filming, because one, it's full of garbage, two, I can't get much off of it. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can make this a little better. It's like just full of crap. Whenever I have something that I don't know what to do with, okay. Good. Oh, poor connection. Wanna fight? My Wi-Fi sucks, I'm sorry. Okay. I think it's just you right now, Ethan. Tell me how many viewers. I think it's just you right now, Ethan, so you're lame and lonely. But hey, whatever. So yeah, Jade is from the north, which is like, Russia, Eastern Europe, whatever, Iceland, all those good places. All those good bops. Ooh. So, like, it's actually really fun to make your own place, because you can, like, choose the customs and the culture. So, like, a little fun tidbit. In the north, people with blonde hair and or green eyes are seen as witches. So, here's Jada with her naturally blonde hair and her jade green eyes. So I actually looked up, like, if you could dye your hair really, like, without actual hair dye, because this is supposed to be like a normal fantasy thing where it's kind of like, you know, like in the past it's not super futuristic. So, and, like, there are dragons and stuff, but they're not really hashed out. But, so, like, I was like, I wonder if you can dye it with, like, indigo or something. Because in Jada's original draft, her hair was purple, which doesn't work. But, yeah, her hair was purple in her original thing. She was also a lot more anime, like, I could probably, okay. I could probably get it. Give me a second. So her original draft, she was actually based off of the comic from someone on Drawcast, which is an okay app, I guess. I've stopped using it since, but so I'll show you her original draft right now, because it's so garbage, honestly. Like, look at that. Look at that. I was like, oh, I'll make it into a manga, because I used to be a weeb. But, like, that's what I had. She had bangs, she had this weird side braid. I think that was supposed to be a fire dragon, even though she's wearing a super thick coat. But, I mean, I've gone off of that. Ugh. Her other draft's over there. But then I was like, oh, I'm gonna just make it a braid that goes down to her knees, for whatever reason, and I made her hair purple in that. I never colored it, but I thought, oh yes, purple, almost black hair. And then I started thinking, I'm gonna make this more realistic, and it's gonna be a book series and not like a manga. Okay, one second. More chat. But, So, can you see that? But honestly, it was a lot more anime at the beginning because, you know, I used to be a massive weeb. So she used to be a lot more anime-like. A lot more, you know, not realistic, but now I'm making it a more realistic thing. But, like, still fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, it's still based on, like, science and realistic stuff, but it's fantasy. So I was like, okay, so she can't have purple hair, but is there a way to dye her hair purple with, like, indigo or something? So I looked it up, and you can dye your hair with indigo, but it wouldn't be, like, ugly, and it would be, like, greenish if you dyed blonde hair with indigo. I still give her black eyebrows because I just give all my characters, like, really thick, dark eyebrows, honestly. But, like, I looked it up, and you can dye your hair with, like, indigo and stuff. It just would make blonde hair green, and it wouldn't have much effect on darker hair. So I was like, okay. And then it was like, but if you dye your hair with indigo and henna, you can make it black or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just make her naturally blonde and give her indigo and henna that she dyes her hair with. And I was like, what's her reason for that? Like, does she have a reason, or does she just like dark hair? So then I started, like, that was when I started, like, hashing out the territories and, like, the customs and whatever. So I was like, oh, that looks like garbage. So I was like, okay, cool. Started working on the history, whatever. And then I thought, okay, what if I have, like, you know, a parallel to real life? So I added in Tatiana, who, I'll show you a draft of her. She's not important to the story. She happened, like, 90 years before the main story occurs. But, okay. So here's Tatiana. Let's see. That's Tatiana. That's great lighting. That's, like, kind of one of those fake Polaroids. Love those. That's Tatiana also. But, like, so the idea was, Tatiana was the queen in year 1960. And they were like, oh great, she's a queen. She's a good queen. Because the North is a monarchy. Not very true to Russia, but it's a monarchy. So Tatiana was the queen. She rose to power, and they were like, great, cool, she's awesome. But she never provided an heir. She tried, but she couldn't. Oh, frick. I'm sorry, that was my iPod. I accidentally just, like, kicked it off the bed. Okay. Me too, dude. Anything from the trolley? But anyway. Tatiana, blah, 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 rose to power. She tried to provide an heir, but she couldn't. This was kind of inspired by Levana from, the Lunar Chronicles. I completely forgot what it was called. I'm so disappointed in myself. But it's a pretty cool, it's a really good book series, actually. If you haven't read the Lunar Chronicles yet, check it out. The first book is Cinder. The second book is Scarlet, then Cress. 3.5 is Fairest. And then there's Winter and Stars Above. And they're all such good books. Like, Marissa Meyer is just an amazing writer. I love her. But yeah, so that was kind of based off of, like, not really based off of, it was kind of inspired by Levana. But she was like, oh, I want to, like, provide an heir, but I can't. So she was barren, and it was like, so, like, ever since the beginning of civilizations, really, it was like, barrenness is a sign of witchcraft. So it was like, oh no, our queen's a witch because she can't have kids or whatever. And so one of the striking things about Tatiana was that she had, like, super pale blonde hair and green eyes, like striking green eyes. So they were like, okay, so this is obviously a sign that she's a witch. So, yeah, that was, it kind of doesn't make sense when I say it out loud, but, so, it's kind of become ingrained in the culture that having blonde hair and green eyes makes you a witch. So Jada, she was born with blonde hair, and her parents were like, oh shoot, and I had a dream where I was a villain, and my weapon was a giant hot glue gun when the chat gets too lit. But her parents were like, oh shoot, and started using indigo and henna to dye her hair so that she would, oh yeah, by the way, Tatiana died. She died in year 1963. She was burned at the stake, or the cross, or whatever you want to call it, because they were like, oh shoot, she's a witch. Can't have a witch for a queen, so they killed her, and her sister had to provide an heir for the throne. So the bloodline has been, like, impure since then, you know? But yeah, Tatiana was considered a witch, and anyone with the same traits as her is kind of considered a witch as well now. Okay, I'm gonna draw. So, like, blonde hair, green eyes, you're a witch. You're so magic, and then they'll probably kill you. So, the thing is, Jada's father, Marcus, has, blonde hair, and he dyes it like her. That's the same angle. I need to stop. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing Sylvia now, if I didn't say that already, because I'm a garbage can and can't remember what I do and do not say. This is so uncomfortable. So, I'm going to do Sylvia from the front. Okay, so here's Sylvia. Here's his face, his pretty old face. Okay, so, Jada's father is blonde and whatever, dyes his hair, so that's fun. And so he was like, oh shoot, we better do the same thing for our daughter, when he had a daughter with Alieska. So that's fun. Pretty fun, man. Being accused of being a witch is fun. Obviously. Okay. Now to see if I can remember Sylvia's design. I always struggle with him. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a reference sheet. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the I think this is the most recent reference sheet for Sylvia. I mean, it's changed a little bit, but that's really the gist of it. I think I've gotten rid of the tail, and I've changed the horns a little, but that's basically it. Okay, so, one sec. So, the thing is, so if you couldn't tell, Sylvia's not exactly human, because of the horns and the forearms and the tail, you know? He also has gills, but you probably couldn't see that. One second. This keyboard sucks. Okay, so he's a cool guy, though, but he's not exactly human, like I said, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I hate drawing gills. They're so gross looking. That's not even what gills look like. But he, oh yeah, I kind of get lost in drawing. I'm so bad at talking and drawing at the same time. I should not be live streaming. But he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. I mean, he's just not really human. Okay, quick question. Do you think someone with 4 arms would have 4 collarbones? Because, I mean, the collarbones, like, lead to the shoulder, you know? I think I should have given him... This is taking a year and a half. Okay. I normally give him 4 collarbones, I think, but they're not, like, visible, and it's, like, hard to incorporate it, because, like, what would you look like if you had 4 collarbones? You'd look crazy. It looks like he just has, like, whatever DVA, whatever markings from, Overwatch or something. The collarbone would split? Ugh, of course. That makes sense, I guess. But it looks like those DVA markings or whatever from I almost said Overtail. Overwatch. Okay, well that looks weird, but it's fine. It's what we're gonna deal with right now. Okay, so, like, whatever, DVA markings from Overwatch on his neck, which, is DVA the one with the whiskers or something? Probably. Man, having 4 arms is confusing. Everyone has a different viewpoint on, like, what the collarbone should do and what the arms should do. I think the original plan was, like, the arms were gonna come out of his back, actually. I'm not sure. We're just gonna leave it like that and focus on his face. So he's a pretty boy. He's a very pretty boy. I love saying pretty boy. It's very fun to say. Okay, so for some reason, whenever I just doodle, really, I give someone long hair. Like, a lot of my characters have long hair, and maybe it's because I have long hair, I'm not really sure. But a lot of my characters just have really long hair, and Sylvia's not exempt from that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's not exempt from that. He also has long hair, just tied back, and I've been thinking to put a meaning behind, the, like, fabric that he ties his hair back with, you know? Because that's always heartbreaking. Like, this one thing I watched, what was it called? I cannot believe I just forgot the name of, when I watched a ton of anime, like, there was this one, something is a magical girl. I forgot her name, but it was like, blah 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 is a magical girl, and it was a really good anime. It was a lot like Madoka Magica, which was also a really good anime, but it was a lot like that and stuff, but, like, one of the chicks, she was in a wheelchair, which was nice to see some disabled representation, but it was nice to see her, and in her hair, she always had it up in the mom hairstyle, like the anime mom that's gonna die, you know? Like the ponytail, like this. But, like, she had her hair like that, and the fabric had a meaning to it, like one of her friends before she lost her memory or something like that. I just spoiled it. Forgive me, but it was something like that. I watched it forever ago, and most of it I watched at like 4 a.m. when I would wake up and be like, okay, whatever, you know? So I forget a lot of it, but it was something like that. So I was thinking of having a meaning kind of like that behind his hair thing, but I haven't dived too deep into it yet. Yes, Yuki Yuna is a hero. Yuki Yuna is a hero. It's a really good anime. It's a good anime. Good stuff right there. Yeah, it's just a good anime, dude. Like, it's good. So if you haven't watched it yet, check it out. It's on Netflix, or it was last time I checked, but I don't go on Netflix that much anymore. Okay, so I was rambling on for way too long about that. Okay, so let's see. So Sylvia's kind of a pretty boy, kind of an angry boy, but okay, I don't think I've even told you anything about the Chimera Project itself. So, the Chimera Project is a thing that happened. Those eyebrows look ridiculous. I'm talking very loud. Forgive me. But the Chimera Project is a thing that happened where it was like genetic experimentation to try and make the perfect human, quote, unquote, human used lightly, because they would be giving them different DNA. Why did animes automatically capitalize? But it was like to try and make the perfect human. I just got a low battery notification. It's fine. Okay, but like so Sylvia was brought to be part of that. This is turning out a lot better than I thought when he was like 8. So this is actually turning out really good. I like this a lot. But he was brought to be part of that in year 2140 or whatever, when he was 8. Poor little dude. So before he was part of that, that's actually I'm just marveling over how I drew Sylvia actually well. Incredible. Not incredible, but I like it. That's actually nice. But he was part of that. And it's kind of a mess. Kind of an emotional mess. So before that, he was a fun little kiddo. He was a cool kiddo who, whatever, you know. He was like a mischievous kid, you know, like one of those kids. But after that, he just kind of went really quiet. I'm gonna go grab another ref because this character needs a lot of reference. Oh boy, more obnoxious sounds. I don't even know if I have an updated ref in here of her. I don't think I do. Oh. Okay. So the ref in there was the ref in the binder was super old, super garbage. I'll have to redo it. So I'm gonna flip through the sketchpad and try to find the doodle I did of her that looked a lot better. Oh, these drawings are so bad. I'm ashamed that there's 11. Just let me find her. It's gonna take like a year and a half, but I'll find her. Believe me. Honestly, the order in this is just a mess. So, okay. Here she is. That's Mariana. She's a cool gal. Just one of you is watching now. That's great. This is Mariana. She's a cool gal. She's like, what, 13 in the book? Something like that. But she's a cool gal, and I love her. Her mom is the president of the... That's spoilers. I'm not gonna finish that. But she's a cool gal. She was born in 2138. I keep messing it up. Year 2138. So she is a did it go blurry? Ah, come on. Stop being blurry. Come on. I don't want to apply a filter. Just focus, what the heck? Well, thanks for telling me, nerd. Okay. This is really blurry, dude. What the heck? Is it, like, all focused in on close now? It is. Come on. There we go. Okay. So anyway, she is, like, 13 in the first book, and she's a cool gal. She, was brought to be part of the project when she was 2. She was born in year 2138, and the Chimera Project started in 2140, so she was like 1 or 2, depending on when she was born early, though. like early in the year. So I think she would have been 2. This is a really ugly face shape. Wow, let's get that sorted out. Great. So she, where was I going with this? Yeah, she was young. She's been experienced. Wow, I messed that up. She's been experimented on basically her entire life. Alright, I'll finish this some other time. Gotta go. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.